You spent hours crafting the perfect campaign only for it to drive 2 purchases. But what if you can clone your best customers, the ones that love your brand, your loyalists? This is the power of Facebook's lookalike audiences. I ran ads for VaynerMedia, one of the biggest agencies in New York City. I ran ads for BARK, one of the largest direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands in the world. Now, I own the Moonlighters, a direct-to-consumer e-commerce agency that helps brands go from 7 figures to 8 figures running ads. Today, I'm going to show you the exact lookalike strategy that we use with our clients. Copy this right now if you want the best results in your ad account today. Creating a bunch of different small lookalike groups, all as unique ad sets, because then we're actually going to have data points to action on that allow us to either pause or scale certain lookalikes that do better than the others. Now, a traditional lookalike strategy would just be to run a 10% lookalike. In our case, we don't want to do that. We want to be very, very precise and have buckets that we could actually make optimizations on to get the best result possible. We are first going to create a fresh campaign, and we are going to set this up with a sales objective. This is really for brands that are e-commerce, trying to drive revenue, trying to drive purchases. Click continue. Really important here. We do not want to set up an Advantage Plus campaign. Everything on the screen makes you want to click that button, but we are going to set this up manually. It's a little bit more work, but you're going to get better results. So now the campaign's set up, I always like to just name it. Naming conventions are really important. In this case, we're just going to call it lookalikes. Excellent. And then we are going to take our first ad set. I'm just going to quickly delete the ad level of this just to keep things really straightforward here. We want to name our ad set. I like to name it LAL_1. LAL just stands for lookalike. 1 is for 1%, meaning this audience that we are about to create is going to be 1% similar as possible to your existing customers. Once we name the ad set, we are just going to simply scroll all the way down and go to custom audiences, click create new. We're gonna have 2 options here. First is custom audience. This is like a list of sorts. Then we are going to have a lookalike audience. This is what we're going to be creating. You're first going to need to click your source. In our case, we are going to use the pixel for this particular brand, and we always want to select the event with value. In this case, it's going to be the purchase amount. Next thing we're going to do is target our exact audience location. This brand operates in the United States, so we are only going to do a lookalike that operates in the US. Next part here is we actually are going to create 5 at a time. So Facebook kind of shortened this process for us, but they only let you do a maximum of 6 at a time. So we do 5 just so we can do it twice. As you can see, this has broken us out into 5 different segments, all of different lookalikes. So it's showing us down here, we're going to create a 1% lookalike, a 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5. These are all going to be around 3 million people that we can target. The lower the number, the more similar they're going to be to our existing customer base. However, this does not mean that it's actually going to convert better, despite the logic there. You would think the lower, the better, and it'll convert the best. It doesn't always work that way. That's why it's so important to run all 10 of these at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and create this audience. And once you do that, you are going to get all these audiences automatically pushed in. In this case, I have created these already in this account. As I said, this is a strategy we do leverage for our client. What we are going to do from here is just go to our custom audiences, and we should just be able to click here, hover over the lookalike tab, and we will then very easily see all the lookalikes that we have already created. You can see here, this is the US 1% lookalike. You click this right here, and that's going to create the 1%. All we are doing is that exact same process 10 times over. So I'm going to do it one more time. I don't want to overcomplicate it and be repetitive 10 times in a row. We're just going to do this one time to show you what that looks like to duplicate. We click action, quickly duplicate, give that a second, and then we are going to X this one out. So we want to remove the 1%, and then we are just going to find the 2% purchase event. What's so important here is we want to rename this ad set so we know we have our clear divisions. So what this looks like in the end is LAL_1 to all the way down to 10. Publish this all at once and let Facebook figure out which of these lookalikes actually convert the best for us. We have created our 10 lookalike audiences using the Facebook pixel. What we also want to do here is use things like website sources or your email list, maybe even cohorts of customers that you find really, really valuable for you. How we can do this is very straightforward. We're just going to use the Klaviyo or your CRM integration, and we are going to take existing audiences that are in the account and simply create lookalikes. I'm going to do one example here. We're just going to duplicate this, and we are going to call this email lookalike Warren. We're going to take an existing audience. We're going to say create new lookalike, and then you could actually look through your existing sources. If you look here on other sources, this is where you could look at many custom audiences that you have. In this case, we're just going to use this email list. I generally recommend that you actually create cohorts here. So maybe you create your people that have purchased over the last 90 days, maybe people who have purchased more than once over the last 90 days. In this case, we're just going to create this same full email list, and we're going to do exactly what we did last time. We're going to create 5 at a time and click create audience. Once that gets pushed into here, as we see right now, we are going to then do the same exact thing and break this out for 1%, 2%, 3%, all the way to 10%. I really want to hit on the value of actually segmenting these out, because the difference here is that if you group it all together, you have no actions to make. All you can do if you group it all together is let it run and hope for the best, cross your fingers. In my opinion, that's absolutely no way to optimize an ad account. You actually need triggers and levers that you could change and pull to make things better. This is called optimizing. We all know what it is, but it's important we set ourselves up to actually be able to do it. I know this is way harder than every other tutorial you have watched, but if you do this, I promise you will get outsized results compared to your competitors. If you receive value from this video and you think your business is going to make just $1 more as a result of watching this, hit the subscribe button below. It means a lot to me. See you soon.